because it's levels to this shit. So it's like, if we're doing a potluck, it's like, okay, what do you want to bring? It's like, well, I can do this. It's kind of like, okay, bring that. We just might not be able to count on that. So we might have, because I've been in places where there's 2 macaroni and cheeses. You know what I'm saying?
One that gets eaten and one that doesn't.
Yeah. It's just your macaroni. You can bring what you want. It's just yours might not get eaten. But once you get titled like, ooh, Byron, can you make your rolls? You know, your whatever from scratch. Oh, your macaroni and cheese. What up? It's 3 Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined with my co-host at the beginning of 2022, Buff and Razi. Fellas, tell the people what's on your mind.
I think this is the longest we've gone without recording, so we gotta make sure we don't have any rust. You know what I'm saying? Jumping back into this, man. But first off, Happy New Year to you, fellas. I hope you had a good, first day of 2022 and many more to come. So Happy New Year to you guys and everybody that's listening. Real quick, I just saw this a couple of hours ago during the football game. I hope Antonio Brown first wants some help, and then he gets the help that he needs, because he has to want it first, and he hasn't shown that he wants it. But, what he did, as you listen to this, I'm talking about that Jets game. Hopefully he gets the help that he needs if he wants it. And we hadn't recorded in a while, so I hadn't got a chance to tell you this, Razi, but great job on Shopping Style, bro. Like, as I was watching it online, I kept telling Tab, I was like, yo, I wish we could be there right now. Like, that was some classy, fun. That was, you did your grown man thing right there, man. So congratulations on that. I hope it was monetarily the success that you wanted it to be, but it definitely looked great. I'm unhappy I lost my bid. Did I lose to was she a state senator?
Yeah, State Senator Marika Coleman.
we drove the price up. This purse started off at like $35. I think by the time it ended, it was in the 3s or the high 2s or something. But I definitely was. I was saying a bunch of curse words to myself every time the price went up. I was like, "Damn it!" And then at that point, it just became like, I just don't want to lose. And because Tabitha reached her milestone on her YouTube page, and I already had to buy her another gift for that, I was like, yo, let me buy out before I be stuck with this and another gift that I got to get her. Plus Christmas was around the corner. So congratulations to the state senator for winning. That was fun. And like I say, dog, congratulations to you, because it looked awesome. And I really mean that, man.
Thanks, man. No, I appreciate it. It was a really, really good time. I was stressed out as I don't know what leading up to it, but once it got going and I got a couple drinks in me, I got to calm down. And
you were pacing at first. I saw you. I was like, he needs to slow down. Like, he was pacing all over the place.
So, but no, man, it was good. We actually raised over or almost, it was like 9,800 and some change. So almost $10,000 to go towards the scholarship, between the silent auction, ticket sales, donations, and then a couple corporate donations that went along with it. So almost $10,000, and I'll probably just write a check to go ahead and round it out for the $10,000. So $10,000 will be going into the scholarship this year, based on that event. It was really, really fun. A lot of people, I was surprised, a lot of people didn't know what a silent auction was or had ever participated in a silent auction. And so, hopefully this kind of exposed some folks to what it is and how much fun it can be, truthfully. And a lot of people talk about the $50 lunches and stuff like that. And it's because all that money goes towards a scholarship or, some type of charitable, event. So it's not necessarily about the food or the gift, right? That bag was nowhere near $300 worth of a bag, but it was really cool to say that, we paid $300 for it and all that money is going to go towards the scholarship because those bags were donated. So the people that are donating all those things, it's really cool because they get a tax write-off for it, and then we'll get the tax break as well, or the tax write off when we donate to the scholarship as well. So it's a way to multiply your money. It's a way everybody can have fun, everybody can give back to the event. Next year it's going to be even bigger. We already have kind of started batting around ideas about it. We're going to bring in a fashion show, so a little bit of fashion show while we do it, as well as the mixer on top of the silent auction. So it's just going to be one big, huge event. We're going to activate at least the Birmingham fashion community, if not the entire state fashion community. We got a couple folks from Huntsville to say they're going to come down for it, that type of thing. So it's going to be bigger next year. Hopefully we can raise even more money for it. Have a good time, man. But I appreciate it, man. It was really fun to put on, and really, really heartening. Heartening, is that a word? I don't know. Not disheartening. What's the opposite of disheartening? Encouraging.
We'll add it to Webster's.
Yeah. It was encouraging.
You could tell I'm not used to a real auction too, because I was treating it like an eBay auction. So eBay, once the time limit is up, that's it. And so I've gotten quite a few things to where I wait till like the last minute and then throw my highest bid in there and just win the item. I try to do yours like that. It's like
starts the counter right over.
And Tab was like, why does it keep starting over?
It's called overtime. So the auction doesn't close until nobody has bid for 1 minute. So it's that's the reason why, so that we can keep pushing the price up as high as possible. So it's not about closing it out. It's about getting as much money for the charity as possible.
But then I think y'all end up closing it out anyway, right?
It's just nobody bid for a minute, and so it closed out. It automatically closed based on that. So and when it closed, man, it was fun. That's when we really started turning up. So we're gonna take a look at it, try to open up the auction a little earlier, start talking about it a little earlier in the night, maybe turn up a little earlier, because we actually got kicked out of the venue because they were like, hey, y'all gotta shut this thing down. We gotta go. It's Sunday night. So little stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
But either way it go, it's going to be great. Yeah.
And hopefully we can make it next year, if the timing's right and everything. But it was, like Byron said, we were traveling that day, so we were in and out. But when I could, I tuned in. We were able to win a purse that I was like, Byron, my initial couple of bids on the purse had me feeling good. And at that point, I was like, well, I'm in there. And I was like, I had a kind of budget anyway. I was like, either I'm going to win something, I'm going to write a check for it anyway, so I might as well win something, so, and get something out of it.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful event, man. I'm proud of you guys. You're doing great things. What are you going to announce who's going to get the scholarship?
The selection committee should decide over the summer, like May, somewhere in there, and then we'll know over the summer. They'll do an award ceremony or whatever, and then I'll be able to announce. So by the end of this school year into the summer, we should know.
Okay. So outside of that, how was everybody's holiday break or Christmas or Kwanzaa, whatever you young brothers celebrate these days?
Quiet and cool for us, man. We kept it low key, dropped gifts off. And we did a few Christmassy things, but it was just quiet, just us three.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know it was hard for us. With my dad being gone, first Christmas without him, and I made a post on Facebook about the panettone didn't get eaten. And for anybody who doesn't know what a panettone is, it's like a fruit kind of bundt cake. It's got a little fruit in there. It's like a coffee cake, but it's the size of a bundt cake, so it's pretty big. And that was my dad's favorite thing on Christmas morning. He'd open up, he'd pop the panettone open, get some coffee, and he'd dunk his panettone in the coffee and drink that, almost like a cereal type thing. He'd soak the bread and then eat the bread with the coffee. And so we bought one just out of habit, I think, but it was a little bit of, got to get one for dad type thing. We bought one, and Christmas came by, and I drove back to Birmingham Christmas night, so about 6:00. And on my way out of the house, I looked over, and the panettone wasn't even open or whatever. And it hit me like the next day, and I was like, it didn't get eaten. And it was just little stuff like that, man, that like really hits home when, you know, you're missing somebody. It's those things that just like, oh man, it's, you know, that hurts. But it was good though. Like, it was good to have a family. The entire family came together. We all were there. We did a kind of slumber party with my mom on Christmas Eve, and then got up on Christmas morning all together. So it was good, man. It really was. The family came together and just made sure that my mom was okay, as well as leaning on each other. And so, you know, that made it really, really cool. So it was good. And then just to throw out, we watched Encanto. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, we saw it.
But man, that is good. It is like really good. So it's the new one. The folks who made Moana, and I can't remember one of the other you know, Disney movies that kind of came out around that time. But that's that same crew. And it has kind of that Moana feel to it, but it's really, really good, man. So if it, you know, family movie, you want to do a little family movie night or whatever, check out Encanto.
The grandma was trash.
Grandma was trash. Grandma was trash.
So, we can all agree on that then. All right, that was good. The Christmas break started early for me. I ended up catching Omarion around the middle of the month. So I tested positive on the 15th of last month, 3 days after my birthday. But I felt good. My symptoms were very mild. Everybody thought we just had a cold because my son was coughing earlier that week or in the week before. So we thought we just had whatever he had. But my daughter and I tested positive. Z and TJ both tested negative. So we got to quarantine in my office / guest bedroom for 10 days. When I say that was not fun, it was not fun. But we were able to stop quarantining right before Christmas, which was cool because my family came up or down, whatever. So my sister came from Dallas. My mom and brother drove in from Mobile. So we had a blast. And my sister that stays here, her family was supposed to come, but they got diagnosed with COVID, I think that Thursday before Christmas. So it was just very weird Christmas, you know, trying to celebrate with each other, but still kind of looking at each other side-eyed, thinking like, hey, I hope everybody's negative. But really enjoyed it, man. Having the family here, getting to enjoy my mom, my brother, my sister. We ate, we drank, we just had a blast. So it was a good holiday. My kids got to really enjoy it. They had a great Christmas. It was even better just to have somebody to help put gifts together. Because usually I'm putting gifts together every Christmas Eve or the night before. Probably don't get into bed until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And Funkle Dion and Aunt Tegan did their duties as aunt and uncle and put stuff together. So the Barbie Dream House, all that stuff that I did not want anything to do with, we got done. So outside of that, man, had a great Christmas. Family's healthy. Finished a quarter strong with work. So I'm ready to hit it off, man. What do you guys have for me? Meaning, Razi, do you have a joke for us? You bringing us in the new year with a joke?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I didn't tell y'all that I almost went to jail over the holiday. So what, Byron? The look.
Nothing. Just proceed.
So we were in Atlanta, and yeah. So we I always end up almost going to jail when I go to Atlanta. I gotta stay out of Atlanta. But I almost had to change my name to Mitochondria because, you know, I wanted them to know that I was the powerhouse of the cell.
New year. Yo, he straight left, man.
The Ferg just walk off. He took his headphones out and just walked off on me.
He put. Nah, I shouldn't make jokes about that. I was about to make an Antonio Brown joke. See, You still need to take mental health seriously.
You back, Ferg? You back?
Yeah, my disappearance was 2-part. One, I was walking away from your joke. So just in case you thought that wasn't part of it. Secondly, I was checking on my son. But no, you definitely gave me a reason to get up and walk away.
What, man? That was a good one. Powerhouse of the cell. Got to be ready, man. Got to get hard.
I hear you.
So, okay, so Razi gave us a joke. It's 2022. Who wants to start it off, man?
I don't mind going. Going first. Because with my dad passing, one of the things that people like to do is like bake food for you and cook food for you and bring food over. So we had a whole bunch of food over the last couple of weeks from different people. And I wanted to ask you, brothers, how do you tell somebody that you don't like their food or like it's not good?
I mean, won't you mean like you personally? Because if nobody eats it, then that's kind of like a...
So are they there in front of you and you waiting on you to eat?
Yeah, you know, like with big gatherings and stuff and folks bringing food over, you know, Thanksgiving, auntie brought the casserole that nobody wants or whatever, or something like that. How do you tell somebody, you know, that you just ain't feeling it? The curl just ain't.
So if it depends. If it's something that let's say somebody fries chicken and their chicken's bland, nobody eats it. Like, it's hard to just say it. But like if you have a broccoli and cheese and mushroom casserole or some random stuff that they put together, he's like, I'm just not a fan of casseroles. Like, you can kind of like, I'm just, I know we really don't eat casseroles like that. You can always just say this is something we don't do. But if it's something that's, you can just like, y'all were eating Popeyes before I walked over here, and now I'm slaved over this stove and cooked chicken for you guys, and you're not eating mine. There's no way to say we don't eat chicken, maybe you know what, man, we just had some chicken, or just like we're over chicken,
or they handed you the plate and then they ask you how was it. Like that's the even worse one.
Oh yeah, man, I didn't even get a chance to eat it yet, man. I'm not home.
So you're gonna lie. So essentially, you're gonna lie.
Just tell them exactly what's wrong with it, and maybe that'll help them do better. My homeboy had a cookout, and his mom was just straight up. We was all over there. At cookouts, if you're gonna fry some fish, everybody's gonna wait for that fish. Like when we went to Atlanta for your John Razi, everybody's waiting for that fish to come out the grease. She finally got that fish, and she was like,
I waited for this.
This fish bland. It needs some more seasoning. And that's one way you could tell them, like, you don't have to be mean. You can just be like, it's good, but it needs, you know what I'm saying? Or it has too much of, and you can go that route.
Yeah.
But there's a way you can do it. You can be honest without being rude.
Yeah, but that's if that's all they need. You need to add salt. Like, your casserole is nasty.
It's hard.
Like, why are there mushrooms, raisins, broccoli, and name something else, tomatoes in this dish? You call it a casserole. There's no casserole that does that. Like, it's
with cream and mushrooms, so it's still soggy.
Yeah, like that doesn't. No,
That's when you definitely got to go your route and say, I'm just not a fan of, raisins.
Yeah.
Dates and walnuts and
or you put it on your plate and you just kind of walk off and like throw it like face down in the trash so that the plate covers it up. So you got to do that one.
Oh, I'm saving that one for later. Oh no, see, I don't eat my casserole with the rest of my food. I'm gonna eat that a little later. Just put that over on the side. Did you get man? You know what, man? I'm so
full.
Yeah.
So Razi, how did you handle it?
I avoided the situation. Like you say, I didn't get it, but you could tell like the person was like kept looking over and nobody was eating their stuff, and like everybody was just kind of walking by. It was pretty sad, but you know, I just avoided it. I didn't say anything.
Was it visual? Was it bad or nobody just ate it?
It looked bad.
Oh,
and yeah. I think it, you know, it's one of those ones that folks, the word gets around, like, don't mess with that one. You don't want that.
yeah. If it's not visually appealing, it makes it tough, you know.
Oh man,
if it looks like crap, yeah, if it looks like crap. Because now is this, so you mentioned Thanksgiving or Christmas, I think. Or and then you also mentioned, you know, people just bringing stuff over because of. So for me, I think you have to be vetted to do special events. Yeah. Now, if I'm at your house and you cooking, that's one thing. But if, you know, Thanksgiving or something, and you only can bring sides. It's just like you can bring something. I'm not obligated to eat what you bring if you haven't been vetted. Now, whoever is cooking the main dish, they're certified. Like, you got to be certified to cook, to host.
Yeah.
Or you need to, or you need to cater. You know, because if you never cooked a turkey and you hosting Thanksgiving, you might need somebody to bring a turkey, which means you're not hosting. We just using your house.
I'll say this: I appreciate someone, you know, fixing food for a funeral, even if they can't cook. You know, it's the thought that counts. I appreciate that. But Thanksgiving, ain't no time for that.
That's what I'm saying. Special events.
For the Super Bowl, they pick the best referees and officials from the regular season. Okay, they don't just throw anybody out there. They grade them during the season, and when the Super Bowl comes, whoever has the highest marks, that's who is going to ref that game. So Thanksgiving, I need the all-stars. I need my best of the best. I don't want you to do nothing out the kindness of your heart. I need the best of the best on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, don't go experimenting. You need somebody that's like, hey, can you make your macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, if it's not your macaroni and cheese, your candy yams, yeah.
Yeah, like, because it's levels to this shit. So it's like, if we're doing a potluck, it's like, okay, what do you want to bring? It's like, well, I can do this. It's kind of like, okay, bring that. We just might not be able to count on that. So we might have, because I've been in places where there's 2 macaroni and cheeses. You know what I'm saying?
One that gets eaten and one that doesn't.
Yeah. It's just your macaroni. You can bring what you want. It's just yours might not get eaten. But once you get titled like, ooh, Byron, can you make your rolls? You know, your whatever from scratch. Oh, your macaroni and cheese, your green bean. Like, if that's what you're known for, that's what you're known for. But just volunteering, like, nah, man, I'll make some banana pudding dressing. you know, Pinterest has people eating all kind of different stuff now, you know, or trying all kind of stuff. So
yeah, the cauliflower macaroni.
Yeah.
We see you, Sean.
Yeah, no veganness. No. When it's a group setting and you're not hosting, it needs to be basic. You know, like, I'll make macaroni and cheese. We expect macaroni and cheese. No different versions. All right, Buff, you want to go next, or you want me to close it out, or?
Oh, it don't matter. I can go next, or I can close. However you want to do it.
It's up to you. Go ahead and go.
All right. My question. Well, I don't want to call it a light question because it's about serious things. But you know, we talk a lot about Dave Chappelle, and one of his specials actually kind of propelled this question, not his latest, most controversial one, but the 846 one that he did last year after George Floyd's murder. He was mentioning how Don Lemon was asking where are the celebrities, and I guess he mentioned Dave Chappelle by name, and Chappelle brought that up during his special. My question is, when serious things are going on like that, whether it be George Floyd, whether it be, you know, something like, you know, what's going on in the federal government with Congress, or, you know, we're dealing with this COVID thing or whatever. Do you want your celebrities to speak out? Because I know that's one of the big criticisms of Michael Jordan is that he never spoke out about anything. And I always retort with, well, maybe that's a good thing, because maybe had he spoken out, it would have been something pretty stupid. So, and we constantly praise LeBron for speaking out. So is that something we want celebrities to do, or do we rather them be quiet and let the people on the ground, tell us what's going on and speak out on it?
For me, I want them to speak out if they're read up and intelligent on the thing. I don't want them spewing QAnon conspiracy theories and stuff like that, where they got it off the internet, they have no idea what's going on. They're not speaking from a place of personal understanding or something, like they're just talking out of their ass. I don't want. I want them to actually understand what they're talking about, understand the intricacies of it, or be personally affected by it. Like LeBron speaks out on a lot of stuff because he's a black male in America, and he speaks from that perspective and says, "Here's my perspective on it." And he has some good facts behind it and that type of thing. So I think that's why we praise LeBron, while we tell others,
Kyrie
to just shut up. Like, yeah, it's like you need to be speaking the truth and understanding what you're talking about. And then I'm all good with using your platform and your celebrity to get that understanding and everything. That I think is why the right is so pissed at some of the left or some of the stars, because they come out and they speak from an educated kind of background, and it goes against some of the right's policies or their talking points, because a lot of it is rooted in misinformation.
So I guess it goes back kind of to what we're saying. Like, you need to be vetted. Like I don't want you coming out just, if you care enough, learn, get educated on what you're talking about. If you're going to speak out and you're representing the masses, the things that you say are going to be nitpicked and used for and against you and others. I would like for you to be knowledgeable. Now, there's things that happen in the moment. Like, everybody has there's a difference in having your opinion and speaking out, right? In my opinion. So if, after the George Floyd, after you saw the tape, if you just, LeBron, Kyrie, Kanye just gets on like, man, this is crazy. Another senseless kill. Like, if you're just stating the obvious and stating your personal opinion and how you feel and how it's affecting you, then I get it. But once you start following up and trying to gain ground, I need you to be educated and research and put your money where your mouth is, or at least take the time to research and say, okay, in America, this is the 42nd person to be shot by a 42nd black man to be shot by unarmed officers. Like, start putting some facts, because you have a team that can put that stuff together. Because if you care enough, not just because you're on Twitter or you're on Instagram and you just want to make a statement, it's like, man, if you want to make a change.
Yeah, if you're pushing any type of agenda, if you want to, institute any change, if you want people to support or go against something, then yeah, you need to do that research, and you need your PR team saying, give me the facts on this. I need to be smart on this so that I can make this statement. Yeah,
and I mean, even if maybe it's against popular opinion, that I think that might have been the second part, Byron, is, as long as LeBron's saying what we agree with, are we cool? If LeBron came out and said something that you totally were against, is that a different scenario?
Right.
I think it is, because I think the universal answer is we want celebrities to speak out when they agree with us or we agree with them. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, Ferg, you mentioned Kanye, and Razi, you mentioned the right being upset with the left. Kanye has been on both sides of it, okay? Because when he was Bush doesn't care about black people, or when he was taking the microphone from
Taylor Swift.
White girl
Taylor.
Taylor Swift, he got all kinds of criticism from the right. But then he puts the red hat on, and then now the left don't mess with them or whatever. So I think, first off, I don't want to. I think we kind of, I think we underestimate how dangerous and how brave, whether we agree with them or not, how brave it can be for a celebrity to speak out, because I don't make anywhere near what they make. And there are certain things that I won't say on this show because I don't want to mess up my little money. I can't even imagine having 10 times what I make now and risking it all for a comment just so you losers can retweet me. Forget that. So I think it's brave either way. But you do open yourself up, and I say it's brave too because it's not a lot of upside. So we praise LeBron for the things he does, but as soon as he didn't say anything about what's going on in China and what was going on there, then it was like, oh, so you always got something to say about this and that, but this you're silent. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to start speaking out on everything. You're the go-to person. So it can be dangerous, and people like on the right side, conservatives or whatever, they love to criticize Hollywood, but that just goes back to, they like you if you agree with them, because while they criticize Hollywood, once John Voight stated where he stands and how he's right-leaning, or Ted Nugent, they're on Fox News all the time now. So I think both sides enjoy their celebrities and the platform that they carry as long as they agree with them. But
yeah,
I think overall we shouldn't expect them. Like,
no,
we shouldn't count on them. Like, if they do it, good, but that's not who we should be looking to.
Yeah. Is it Zendaya or whatever her name is a perfect example. She doesn't speak out much, but she fights for Black people and people of color and women in everything that she does. Like, at one point she was like, she's not producing anything unless there's like equal Black writers on the show or whatever. Like, she uses her celebrity but doesn't speak out. So I'm there with you when you say, I don't think the expectation should be they have to speak out. But what happens is, if they are speaking out, I just need them to know what they're talking about. But I wanted to kind of bring up, there's a book that I've actually been listening to, not reading. It's an audio book. It's What Truth Sounds Like by Michael Eric Dyson. So now it's Michael Eric Dyson, right? So it is not easy to follow and everything, but it is really, really good information. It's a good book if you guys, and he's reading it. So you get his little, kind of chopped up type of conversation that he has with himself. So but it's a really good book. It has a lot of good information in there and kind of goes right along with this, talking about like celebrities speaking out and everything like that. So go check that book out. So I'm about halfway through it now, and it's really good.
Well, my thing is, I talk about intent a lot, and I don't know if it depends on why they're speaking out too, because I feel like, for one, some people feel like they just have to speak out just because that's what the world wants them to do. Then some people just cultural. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has to jump on IG, Twitter, Snapchat. Like, everybody always has something to say to stay relevant. Like, I think at one point Cardi B was making a lot of statements on some stuff, and it's like, what? Why is is she read up on these things? Is she knowledgeable on these things? But I feel like everybody feels like they have to say something.
I was gonna say, I think Razi said it's definitely a difference between just giving your opinion and actually like speaking out on something or against something or fighting for something. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can give their opinion, and I think it serves a good purpose, especially if they help bring awareness to something.
Yeah. If you're gonna make a stance and bring awareness, then you need to be knowledgeable and put in the time and effort to make sure that what you're saying is helpful. Mm-hmm. Good question, Buff. So I'm going to do, I guess, semi-cliche. It's January 2nd. We're recording. We're in the new year. And, every year we hear people, what is your New Year's resolution? So did you guys make any New Year's resolutions or anything like that? Well, Razi, you kind of talked about one, but I don't know if that was really a resolution.
It is, and I'll talk about it on the show. I mean, I don't mind. You guys know I open up and talk all my business on the show.
Well, my question is not going to be what's your New Year's resolution, but I just wanted to
Oh yeah. Okay, go then. What is it?
But if you wanted to share it, it's fine. I was just saying that wasn't going to be where I was going with it. I was just trying to see if you guys do it.
Usually I don't. It's weird. Usually I don't do it, but I mean, this year I did. I kind of made a resolution. And just to kind of share it since we mentioned it now, yeah, I made a resolution that I would kind of clean out some of Jenica's stuff. I always talk about her stuff still in the closet or whatever, and it is a little hard sometimes waking up and just seeing it every day and everything like that. So I made a resolution that I'm going to clean the closet out. Do something with all the stuff, give her sisters whatever they can fit, whatever, put some in storage, whatever I know I want to keep, that type of thing. And then, whatever the rest of it, give it to Goodwill or somebody who can use it and rather than it just sitting there, because it's been sitting there almost 2 years not being touched. So, that type of thing. So yeah, that is my resolution. And I like how you said, Ferg, put a time limit on it, make it a SMART goal. Instead of just saying I'm gonna do it, saying by when do I want to do it? So that one I got to think through. But yeah, that's my resolution.
Okay, Buff, you got any?
Nothing specific, man. Just enjoy life even more, especially with my family, and just incorporate more family things. I guess it's cliche, but man, I love life, man. I love living, and I just want to experience as much as possible.
Okay.
We're going to experience so much in Vegas. I just want you to know that now.
So the reason I asked
He's talking about the library out there, Tabitha.
The reason I ask is I've been hearing people talk about New Year's resolutions, seeing it on Facebook and other social media points. But then there was another group I'm in. They were talking more so, and this is kind of what I do. The reason I don't do New Year's resolutions is I feel like it's a goal that is an action that you're supposed to do. Either you do it or you don't, right? Either I'm going to start working out more, I'm going to lose 25 pounds. And, either you just, for one, I'm not even saying it's temporary and you're setting yourself up for failure. When it's not time to work out, you can't focus on that resolution, right? It's only when when only that resolution applies that you're really focused on it. And usually that's the reason I feel like they don't work. So what I do is I do a word of the year, like something that I can meditate on, something I can improve on, something I can focus on every year. 1 year was focus. 1 year was consistency, growth. Like it was things like I can always just focus on, like, okay, I need to be more consistent in with my family, friends, work. Like those were things where I can apply to daily and in so many different aspects of my life. So my question is going to be, do you guys have a word or something like that you feel like you could focus on this year? If you had to say, this is what I really want to focus, or this is going to be my meditation word or my goal word for the year, what would that be? And secondly, another thing, the group I was in earlier, they were talking about mantras, having a mantra. And I feel like mantras work better for me because it's something I can always apply rather than, like I said, that short term or that my resolution only applies to this specific point in my life or this specific thing in my life. So I know that was a lot. So do you have like a meditation word or a word for the year? And second, is there a mantra that you live by or any mantras that you go by that you really want to focus on this year? So I know that was a lot. We can reverse the thing and I can go first this time while you guys think. Does that help? Or do you guys already have something?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my first one, this was it was actually came up through my therapist. My last session, we were having a conversation, and he said, something I noticed about you is you're very intentional. So my word for the year is intentional. Is to kind of be aware and put energy into the things that I really care about. So the reason I feel like my marriage goes a certain way and I take time out to sit there and think about what I want to accomplish, how it affects me, how it affects others. Like it's not a fly by night. I don't just go with the flow. thing. So that is my first word. It's intentional. So, and it was his breakdown on that and his analysis of me was very eye opening. He said that's probably why it separates you from a lot of people. It's like every time I talk to you, it's like you not only do you want to do something, there's a why and a reason, and this is your plan on it. It's like, so you're very intentional about your thing. So that is my word. And my mantra, there's actually two parts to it. First is, and this was one of my line brothers put this in, and I'm trying to research it more, but it just stuck out to me. And the second part is going to be how I'm going to get there because of this. So it says at the bottom, there are victims and pessimists. Then in the middle, there are optimists and realists. And on top, there are curious competitors who seek challenges out. The reason that stuck out to me is I want to, kind of like you were saying, Byron, embrace life more. Razi, you know, I'm very cautious and careful and probably overthink everything. And so I think I find myself in the middle a lot. I'm that optimist or realist. But we mentioned on the show before, sometimes that holds you back. You're scared to go after those things you want. You're scared to push the envelope because the way I approach life, or not you, I'll speak specifically for me. I'm fearful of pushing the envelope because I'm using logic to guide all my decisions. You know, so to be better, to move to that next level, I have to challenge myself more. I have to be uncomfortable. I have to. You
got to take risks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to seek those challenges out. You know, we talk about finances and stuff like that. I actually called you the other day because I was thinking about some stuff in my house. I'm always trying to make maybe not the perfect decision, but the best decision rather than, you know, hey, this is what you need to do. You start putting this in action and, you know, it may work, it might not work, but you're not going to put yourself out there enough where you're just going to go bankrupt because of this one decision. It's, hey, you know, something simple. I'm debating if I want to, when I move in the next few years, do I want to sell my house or do I want to rent it out? And something as simple as like, hey, you know what? Go ahead and refinance now, because if you refinance now and you get while the interest rates are low and you decide to keep the house and rent it out, you have a lower interest rate and all that stuff. Don't know all the details behind. I'm going to reach out to you later about it, Razi, but that's kind of the thought process I was doing. But in my mind, it's go seek that challenge out. Make it something. Make it, if it doesn't work out, you learn from it. Like, hey, man, I did this and I did that and it didn't work out. But to ease my mind, there was a philosophy by Jim Rohn that says success and failure boil down to the same thing: small habits performed daily. So because I'm a realist and I'm always using logic and always coming up with different techniques and different ways to accomplish all my goals, like I'm very, very big on developing procedures. Like I do it for work. I do it with my lamplighters. I do it for a lot of stuff in my life. And it's to get to that next level, to go out and seek challenge, I have to start creating more daily habits that are good. Like if I want to get better at my job, remember we're talking about me applying for that promotion. Mm-hmm. It's like, what can I do? If that comes up tomorrow, what can I do to make sure I'm ready? It's okay. You have these things done, knocked out. You know, I finished number 9 in the country with my company, but it's, what else can you do? Do I need to study more? You do this every day. You spend an hour doing this every day. Maybe you need to spend 30 minutes studying every day. So figuring out those things I could do to be better, creating those habits so I can go feel comfortable when I seek out more comfortable when I seek out challenges. So that was a lot.
No, it's cool. It's cool though. It's funny you say I don't make a New Year's resolution, and it seems like you've made a New Year's resolution. It's just you worded it differently, you packaged it a little differently, but it's a resolution. You're saying, okay, I'm going to say this mantra every day. I'm going to do this.
Say it.
Or not every day, but I'm going to live by this mantra. That's a resolution right there. That's a New Year's resolution. Okay. I'm going to live by this mantra, or you know, that type of thing. So but there's nothing wrong with that. I think we had a conversation about, you know, New Year's resolutions and you know, it's a time to reflect and reset and say, okay, going forward, here's what I want to do. And so that makes a lot of sense. It's funny you talk about the word. For me, I think I've had this kind of internal struggle with, and I think we brought it up a little bit about being selfish and making sure that kind of taking care of myself and making sure that I make time for myself and I just kind of chill and take care of me before put my mask on before I put everybody else's mask on. And that's, I think, what I do a lot is I just make sure everybody else is okay. And so I think for me, that is kind of that word. If you're looking for a word for me, would be selfish, being selfish. I need to make sure that I'm selfish a little bit.
I like that.
And so that's where I'd go. And mantras wise, it's funny. My family has a mantra, just me and the kids. We always talk about our family mantra is safety first and teamwork. And it sounds funny. It sounds weird, but when you really get down to it, it's like, be safe, do the right thing, and lean on each other and be a team. So it encompasses all of this at one time when you just say safety first and teamwork. Like, let's make sure that we're all good, we're all safe, we're all taken care of, and we're going to do it together. And so that's our mantra. Like, I could go to the kids right now and they'll be like safety first, and they'll be like teamwork. Like, so it's always just like the family knows that's what we do, is we're going to take care of each other. So that's ours.
Okay, I like that.
All right, so my mantra is going to help all of you that are listening. If you don't like me, I'm going to give you some advice on what you can do. But before I get to that, my word is kind of like Razi's, but it's just a different word. My word is care. And the reason I say it's like Razi is because, for the majority of my life, and I'm talking about like up until maybe midway through last year, there's a lot of things I looked at as like kind of feminine. You know what I mean? Just ignorant thinking. Like, I was in my 30s when I got my first pedicure. You know what I mean? I just developed a consistent face regimen that I actually like, that I hope will start showing some great results. So just like taking care of me, and like, moisturizer isn't just for women, you idiot. You know what I mean? Like, so take care of yourself, but not just physically care. I talk to my friends, you guys, SWAT, all the time, almost every day, whether it's through GroupMe or text, I talk to at least one of you guys. And my family members, not so much. And I don't love them any less. It's just that, for the most part, I'm like, they know I love them. I don't need to reach out to them. But I wouldn't say it's a New Year's resolution, because I started working on this like towards the end of last year, like maybe September, October. But it kind of is a New Year's resolution because, it's something that I said, I definitely want to do in 2022, but I don't wait till January 1st to start it. I'm like, if that's something I think I need to do, whenever the idea pops in, I start doing it. So I've been reaching out to family more, visiting my family that lives up here more, and I hope to continue to progress in that, and not just assume they know I care, but tell them, show them, be around more, and reach out to them more so they can know. So my word is, I guess, care. My mantra, which I've never had a mantra, but I'm going to cheat. For those of you that follow me on social media, it's now my cover photo. And for those of you that don't follow me on social media, it goes as follows. And it's very important, especially if you don't like me. If you don't like me, do this with me as I say it, people. Breathe in. Now breathe out. There's nothing more you can do. That's it. That's all you can do. And the reason that's important for me is because, we live in a world and an age now where it's so easy and everybody says they don't care what people think about them. That's like the most popular thing to say. I don't give a bleep what anybody thinks about me. I'm going to do me. I've seen way too many 100 comment arguments on social media that say otherwise. The fact of the matter is, we do, for the most part, care what people think. Now, full stop to like, you're not going to necessarily change your behavior. But if you hear a negative comment about yourself, if you don't at least go, damn, that's messed up, then, you're a cyborg or an android. Like, it's going to like, you may do some type of self-assessment for a second, like, No, that's not true. I'm not like that. Or you may say, oh, that person is right. Let me work on that. But the bottom line is, I just think we say, I don't care what people think way too easily and way too much because the evidence points otherwise. And I was one of those people that maybe cared a little too much. And I've learned over the years to not care as much. And as long as, life doesn't come with a handbook, as long as I'm doing the best that I can to the best of my abilities, I feel like I do my best to treat people right. I look out for people and things like that. I'm not going to always get it right. I'm not perfect. So with that being said, you're never going to please everybody. And so I have reminded myself that, and I've gotten to a place to where, I'll do what I can to be the best person I can. But if you still can't jive with that, if you still got an issue with me on that, then we just had a disagreement. But that is my mantra. If you don't like me, it's not too much more you can do about it.
I love that mantra, bro. And both of your
I thought you was gonna say kiss my bleep.
I'm practicing on not cursing because of NspireU, bro.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
But both your mantras in words, it's kind of how I got the word intentional. Because like you said, Razi, you were saying you'll put everybody else's mask on first. You think about that. You make sure the kids are okay. You make sure that everybody else is okay. You make sure your family's doing well. You make sure things are taken care of at work. You don't take off when you need to. And it's like you're building your brand. You're building these things. And it's kind of like be intentional about the things that matter to you. Put your mask on first. Find time to celebrate yourself. Find time because you'll celebrate other people. Find time to do self-care. Find time to do those things the same way you are intentionally doing those things for other people. Intentionally do things for yourself, and don't feel bad to do it. It's kind of like, oh, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So that's my word, intentional. I think that's it, fellas. Anything else you guys got?
That's it, man.
Let's go ahead and do these parting shots then.
So I'll start. Buff mentioned NspireU. I just want everybody to make sure on the 26th is going to be our first time dropping on NspireU. So you guys make sure. I think that's the day. Is that a Monday?
I want to say
let me check my calendar.
Yes, I believe 24th, it is a Monday.
24th.
Yeah, I thought it was the 24th.
24th. So the 24th will be our first day on NspireU. We got pushed back because of the holidays and all these COVID streets that's happening out here. And with that, just be safe, guys. Make sure that you're being safe. COVID is out there. Ferg talked about catching a Marion. And so we got to make sure that, if you're going out, the kids hated it over this holiday season. We had on masks. We had on masks at my sister's house on Christmas because so many people from different places came together. So, just make sure that you're being safe so that even though you're vaccinated, you can still get it. It might not be as bad. It might not, hurt you as much. Your chances of dying are very low with the vaccine. But even with that, you don't want to get it. You don't want to try to spread it. We want to try to eradicate this thing. So just be safe is all I got to say, man.
How can I say this? So, Ferg, you kind of danced around New Year's resolutions. This is something, it's not a New Year's resolution. This is something that I want everybody else to stop doing if you do it. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know how many other people it bothers. But if I'm in a public place like a lunchroom or a restaurant, and especially during the winter months, and you feel the need to blow your nose, please step away out of the room or away from the table. It's, I'd rather you fart or burp than blow your nose. It's disgusting, and I would like for this to take off and pass around to where people stop doing it because it's disgusting. I nearly lose my appetite, and I appreciate it if I know it happens. You have to do it sometimes, but if you could just step away, if you're in a public place, that would be very helpful. So thank you in advance.
Wow. Um,
Oh, Ferg, before you go, I wanna say thanks, Buff. You, all the officers on Capitol Police and everything. You guys know this will drop this Monday, and it's going on the 1 year anniversary of the Mayo Revolution, or what do you call it? What do you call it? I think it's the Mayo Revolution, January 6th.
Vanilla ISIS.
Yeah, Vanilla ISIS. All that
mayonnaise
good stuff.
mayhem. Yeah.
So shout out to you guys. I know how much like an event like that can weigh on you for years after, because I've been in those types of situations. So I get it, I understand, I appreciate you guys. If nobody else says it, thank you. I'll say it. Thank you guys.
I appreciate that, man. And now that you mentioned that, I just want to send a quick shout out to Eugene Goodman, who we hope to have on here very soon. But I won one of my first I made 2 bets with him, and I just won the first one. He was on the cover of Time magazine, so I can't wait to cash in that steak dinner, my brother. The second bet is Blackish starts this week. If he is mentioned, and just in case I miss an episode, listeners, if Eugene Goodman is mentioned during any episode of Blackish this season, their final season, please let me know. And that's going to be 2 steak dinners. That's all I got. Thanks, Razi. Appreciate that.
See, that's what happens when you march for the big dogs. Nobody else is homeboy betting about them being on Time magazine and stuff. That's the kind of circle Byron keeps. So no, but I'm with Razi, man. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you guys do. You know, we used to joke about what you were doing, but anytime you are protecting and serving, things can turn to bad really fast. So I can't believe it's almost been a year.
Right.
Are they doing anything to commemorate, or?
They are.
They're obstructing the investigation. That's what they're doing.
Carry on, Ferg.
I can't with you, Razi. But I know there's going to be all kind of news people there, news outlets there. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Oh, did you see CNN's? I forgot what her name was for New Year's Eve when the chick was saying she didn't want any more broke for 2022.
Was she with Don Lemon?
Yes.
She was throwed.
Yes, she was like
Don Lemon and CNN are comedy gold on New Year's Eve, dog.
Yes,
every year they are comedy gold.
They pushed the limit. Like, FCC, y'all listening? Y'all drunk? All right, but today's our day. But it was so funny because he was like, "It's coming again? Okay, what'd you say?" Okay, so did you say no more broke? And it's like, yeah, that's what I said. You know, it's kind of like, wow. That's one New Year's resolution that I hope she's able to keep, I guess. But for me, you know, 2021 wanted to hold on strong. R.I.P. Betty White.
2020 was petty for that.
Yeah, they were like,
was petty for that.
Yeah, it's like, 100 years? Nah, let's go ahead and do this today. But which was funny because
we lost the Mac.
And that was 2022. 2022 saying, "Oh, I'm gonna up you one." You know, it was funny because to hear and see how many people just love Betty White. You know, this 99-year-old. Well, she's accepted, not loved by her, but she was accepted by people from all over. But that caught me off guard. You kind of expect her to live forever at this point, or expected her to live forever. John Madden caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was just crazy. What's crazy is at one point I felt like this is the second or third time I thought John Madden died, because like he just disappeared and it's like, damn, what happened to John Madden? He must be dead. And then when he died, it's like, man, I felt like he died in 2018 or something. Like, but now he's like, oh, this John Madden did. So 2021 took no prisoners. They just wanted to do it how they do it. But I'm excited. Like you said, NspireU, January 24th. We're going to kick it off. Have a great episode. Please tune in, listen, get us out there, share with everybody else. But my thing is, I'm going to close out with my lamp-lighters. As you all know, my lamp-lighters I'm the director for a mentoring organization and male youth preventative organization called the Houston Omega Lamp-lighters. This year, we're taking a HBCU college tour. We're supposed to make, I think, 5 or 6 stops, as well as a social injustice tour. We're making another 3 stops throughout Alabama. And we are currently raising funds. We're doing a fundraiser called a 20 for 20, where me and my guys are asking everybody for $20 in exchange for 20 hours of community service. So we've seen all of the, cookies and popcorn and everything. And we're really trying to teach our young men the importance of paying it forward and being able to go out and help the community. I feel like this is a great way to do it. So in conjunction with that, you will be seeing me consistently post on our site and my page, asking for donations, because we have a big chunk of change we need. We need to collect about $30,000 to do this. I have over 30 guys. So if you can help, please help. Razi can you post the link on the page tomorrow? Mm-hmm. All righty. So 20 for 20, click on it. Help me. I told the guys I'm outraised everybody anyway, so I'm already number one. My goal is I want to raise over $5,000 just on my own, if not more. So that's it. 3 brothers, no sense. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you next week.